YouTube homesteaders, Tom Fitzgerald here with Good Hope Homestead. Guys, it's not looking like it's going to be a really good day out here today. It's cold. They're calling for rain, but we still got stuff we have to get done here on the homestead. And today we're going to try to get our chicken brooder made. I got my little helpers out here with me this morning. That's my little Pomapoo, Lexi. She can't keep her out of the woods. And that's our other little poodle. It's TJ. He's I call him old man. And of course we have Henry over there. He's being awfully loud and obnoxious this morning. Say hi to everyone, Henry. Well, got a couple eggs in here this morning. I'm going to check this one down here on the end. Oh yeah, there she is. She has been sitting in this box for 2 days now. And I think she's gone broody. I think she's got some eggs in there, and she does not want me to have them. I'm going to let her sit in here for a little while and see if I can get her off that later on. Alright guys, well today's the day. I'm going to try to get this done now that we got all of our chores done and out of the way before this rain moves in. They're calling for rain this afternoon. But today we're going to be going ahead and building our chick brooder. And I'll show you the materials and stuff that we'll be using to go ahead and get that built. I'll show you some of the materials that we're using. This is a 4x8 sheet of underlayment. And you can pick this stuff up at your hardware stores like Lowe's, Home Depot, pretty cheap. I think a sheet was like $7. And also we'll be using some 2x2s. Now the 2x2s I actually got, if you go to Home Depot, in the back of the lumber department, they have what they could consider damaged lumber. This is lumber that's like may have a bow or twist or some knots in it. And they mark this stuff down 70%. We're going to be making small cuts, so the stuff that's got a little bit of bow in it, it's not that big of a deal, and it's, you know, after all, it is a chick brooder, so it's not something that's like a fine piece of furniture. So some knots and stuff here and there, no big deal. We're going to cut most of the bows out anyway. So save yourself some money. I do this stuff a lot for building projects on the homestead and save money doing it. The last thing is a box of wood screws. These are number 6. By 1 5/8 wood screws. These are interior grade. It's a chick brooder, so it's going to be inside out of the weather. You don't have to use any exterior grade wood screws on it. But that's it as far as materials go. And I'll show you how we're going to lay this out. I just took a framing square, and I went ahead and measured 2 feet and made a line. Another 2 feet, made a line. Another 2 feet, made a line straight across. So we'll cut these, and we'll have 4 pieces that are 2 feet by 4 feet. We have our 4 pieces that are 4 feet by 2 feet. Now, I'm going to have to modify this one a little bit. Normally, you would just take these pieces and just join them together, and you'll be making a 4 foot by 4 foot brooder box. Most people just set these in a garage, or they'll set it in inside their barn. You know, someplace has a concrete floor and doesn't need a bottom on it. Unfortunately, I don't have a building to put this in yet. We don't have our barn up, so this is going to have to go inside my house. I have a scrap piece of this underlayment that's 4 feet by 3.5 feet, and I'm going to use that to make a bottom on this. So I'm going to have to trim my side runs down a little bit to match that. So this brooder will actually be 3.5 feet by 4 feet instead of the 4 by 4, and it'll avoid me from having to go buy another sheet of this. But like I said, if you're using this in a garage where you don't have to have the bottom on it, you know, you just put a piece of plastic down or tarp or something and set this right on top of it, then you can go ahead and just build it this way, or you can buy an extra sheet and cut that in half and use that as the bottom. But because I have a piece already 3.5 by 4, we're going to go ahead and just trim it to fit the bottom piece. Now that we have all of our underlayment cut into 4 pieces, we're going to go ahead and take our 2x2s, and I'm going to use my chop saw here. You can use whatever saw you're using, circular saw, chop saw, whatever. And we're going to cut these 2x2s into 24-inch lengths. We're going to need 4 pieces at 24 inches. Now that we have our 2x2s cut into 4 24-inch lengths, we're going to take 2 of our end pieces and screw them to both ends. I got one on that end, and we'll come down to this end and then put another one in there. We're going to go ahead and screw those in there now. Yeah, we got our 2 sides now that have the 24-inch 2x2s screwed on each end. And I'm going to show you something where I made a bit of a mistake, and I told you guys I'm going to show you my mistakes. The screws that I got were number 6s, 1 5/8. I would recommend using 1.5 inches or even 1 1/4 would be fine. These did fairly well. I don't know if see if I can get the zoom in there. A little tiny bit of the tip of the screw did come through the backside. It wasn't a big deal. It was such a small piece. All I did was I just took my hammer and just tapped on it, and I mean it flattened it out flush with the wood. You can't even feel it. But just for y'all at home, I recommend using 1.5 inches or 1 1/4 instead of the 1 5/8. We're going to take our side piece. We have the 2x2 screwed on to, and I'm going to go ahead and take our other side piece that it's just a plain side piece. We don't have anything nailed onto this, and I'm going to go ahead and screw it into the side of that of our side piece with the 2x2 on it. Lined our end piece up, and we just went ahead and just put a couple screws in that, so we have now both these 2 pieces joined together. And I'm going to go to the other side over here. I'm going to add in the other side piece that we screwed our 2x2s onto. I have all 4 sides of the chick brooder screwed together. Show you from the inside. It's pretty. It's a pretty simple design. It's not much to it. What we're going to go ahead and do now is add in some braces to go from corner to corner across the bottom here. What we're going to do now is go back to our 2x2s, and we're going to cut 4 2x2s. You have to measure from end to end. Mine measured in roughly about 45 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 4 45-inch 2x2s to use to frame in around the bottom of the brooder. Alright guys, there you have it. We went ahead and got all of our pieces framed in around the top. Well, this is actually, for us, is going to be the bottom. Now, if you weren't going to put a bottom on yours, at this point you're done. If you're just going to set it in like a garage floor where you don't have to have anything down the bottom other than putting your bedding material in, your pine shavings, you can go ahead and just set it plastic down, put this on top of it, and put your pine shavings in. But unfortunately for us, this is actually going to have to go in my house. I'm going to stick this in one of the rooms that we're not using. We just kind of use as storage and stuff. So I'm actually going to have to go ahead and put a bottom on this, just so it doesn't make a mess all over the floor. But that's it right there. That's the finished brooder with all the framework. And next we'll just go ahead and this I put together with screws, so it comes apart real easy. Take 3 screws out that side, 3 screws out this side, and then we can come over here and take those 3 screws, and then go to the other end, take those 3 screws, and that's it. This thing will come apart. I got 4 pieces. It stores real easy, and this way too I can move it in and out as I need to until we get a barn set up where we can just leave this there in the barn. Guys, there you go. I go ahead and got the bottom put on, and that is our finished brooder. This now this didn't cost much at all. Like I said, these 2x2s I picked up 70% off in their damaged lumber section. If you go to the lumber department of Lowe's, right at the back they'll have a cart that's got lumber that's bent and stuff. And I got 4 of them up there. I paid less than $1 a piece for those 2x2s. The full sheet of underlayment actually had, but to buy it, it's like $7 and some change for a sheet. And I bought the box of wood screws. You know, altogether, this thing costs like 15 bucks to build. And it's sturdy. It'll last for a long time. And like I said, the way we put it together, if I take out 12 screws, this whole thing is completely into 4 pieces. So it's easy to go ahead and take apart and store when we're not using it, because we don't have a lot of space right here right now to store stuff. But that's finished. In my next video, I'm going to show you setting this up, setting up the heat lamps, getting it filled, and getting it ready for baby chicks. Alright guys, until the next video, God bless.